Hello, psychology students, and welcome to our little mini lesson on pseudoscience. Now, this is kind of an interesting topic, and I'm sure some of you are wondering, what in the world are we doing this for? Well, we'll explain that at the end of this little mini lesson. So let's define pseudoscience to begin with. If you look at the definition, pseudoscience is a claim, belief, or practice which is presented as scientific, which does not adhere to a valid scientific method. It lacks supporting evidence, cannot be reliably tested, or otherwise lacks scientific status. So again, you're thinking, why in the world? Again, we'll tell you at the end. So let's compare science with pseudoscience. Science has a willingness to change with new evidence. Pseudoscience tends to have a very fixed idea of what they believe, and they don't want to worry about anything new that's come up. And again, if you need to pause these notes as you are typing your notes, you're more than welcome to do so. Secondly, science is ruthless with peer reviews. There's always someone reviewing it and making sure it's accurate. Pseudoscience does not usually use a peer review. Science takes account of all new discoveries. Pseudoscience tends to only favor the ones that help them prove their particular theory. Science invites criticism, whereas pseudoscience sees criticism as conspiracy, or they feel threatened by criticism. Whereas in science, we obviously want to be able to prove it in multiple places, so we would encourage others to investigate. Science has verifiable results. Pseudoscience tends to have non-repeatable results. Now, they may do an experiment, and it actually does prove true the first time, but if they can't repeat it more than once, then we're not sure if it's really accurate. Science limits the claims of usefulness of that particular thing. Pseudoscience often will claim widespread usefulness, like, oh, this new cream is going to solve cancer and help with wrinkles, just an example. Science has a very accurate measurement, typically, where pseudoscience uses more of a ballpark measurement. Okay. One example of pseudoscience is phrenology. This was invented by a guy named Franz Joseph Gall in 1796. And here's what he did. He took dead bodies and he actually investigated the bumps on the skull. And he decided that he could look at the skull and determine their intellect and their character traits. Now, I know that sounds crazy because we know that the number of bumps on your skull doesn't say how smart you are or how nice you're going to be or how violent you're going to be. But he was the first guy that really got us exploring the brain, and it helped us start looking at why, when we get bumped here, why does it affect our memory, or why does this affect our moods? We looked at the different parts of the brain and what they did. So if it weren't for him, we may not have figured that out. So is there anything good about pseudoscience? Absolutely. First of all, we need to be able to make mistakes to have success. As inventor Edison said, when asked, how did I feel when I failed 1,000 times on inventing the light bulb? He replied, I didn't fail 1,000 times. The light bulb was an invention with 1,000 steps. So we have to be okay to make mistakes to find that success. Second, we need to be able to think outside the box. And in the past, in history, we've sometimes just only done what we knew. And it didn't push us beyond what we've already done. I mean, can you imagine, if no one had ever even thought about going to the moon? I mean, we were always interested in that, but someone thought of that possibility of building a rocket and going to the moon. Someone started that. And it was actually considered sci-fi when my dad was a little kid. And the other weird thing about pseudoscience is sometimes their theories are proven to be true later on, but they're limited by the technology of the time, or they don't exactly know what method to use to prove it. So, crazy or not, some of these scientific methods might actually work in the long run. So, here's your assignment. I want you to pick a pseudoscience of your choice. It can be anything. And I want you to fill out your note card with the W's about that topic. Who discovered it? What is the theory? When did it happen? Where was it discovered? Why is it considered pseudoscience? And then the how are details about how it happened and how it works. And then we're going to have you actually share that with the class. So we'll give you, 20 minutes or so to look up your pseudoscience and find its information. If you're gone today, please fill out your note card, lovely little note card, and be ready to share that with us. Okay? Have a great day.